Hey, I'm Chris.
I'm Arun.
We're from Saves the Day, and you're at WinkBall.com.
This song will become the anthem of your
Guys, can we need to introduce yourselves?
Yes, we are from Saves the Day. My name's Chris.
My name's Arun.
We're pleased.
What can you tell me about Saves the Day?
Well, we've been around for a really, really long time. Been doing this for 14 years now. And it's been about 7 years since we've been to the UK. And it feels really good being back. And I feel like the band Saves the Day was always received better here than we were in the States, because I think Saves the Day had sort of the emo stigma, you know, just like all the bands that came up in the early 2000s or late 90s in the States, they were all labeled emo. And then if you started to evolve musically, you know, maybe people thought you were trying to break out of the confines of your genre, and they didn't take too kindly to it. But over here, I felt like people just liked the music. You know, if it was a good song, it was a good song. So I feel like Saves the Day is always supposed to have been over here more than in the States.
Does that say something about the maturity of British music fans?
I mean, I've always felt that. As soon as we first came over here, we realized the stark contrast. People just seemed to enjoy well-written songs. It didn't matter if it was popular.
Well, and obviously all the great British bands that, you know, that are...
Yeah, most of the stuff we reference is British
I mean,
music. So.
I grew up in Detroit, but I always felt like I was a bit of a Brit at heart, you know? So at least with the music I grew up listening to. And yeah, like when we reference a lot of music, a lot of it is from here.
Yeah.
I have to ask you who your influences are.
Well, the Beatles for me has been the biggest influence for a long time now. But I didn't listen to them when I was a kid, so I discovered them in my adult life. So I've had a massive obsession. I can't stop listening to them. But I'd say other than that, currently, for this most recent album, we were referencing Blur.
A lot of Blur.
And
Graham Coxon's one of my favorite guitar players. And
we wound up listening to Ziggy Stardust over and over and over again when we were thinking of how to arrange the songs, which kinds of instruments to bring to the songs, because we liked what he did with that record. Yeah, Bowie's always been huge. I know he's not originally from the UK, but I love Scott Walker. Okay. I know he got huge over here first, or after he was a teen idol in the States. So that kind of stuff has been with us for a while, just floating in the back of our minds.
What have you been up to this year?
This is the first trip we've taken this whole year. So we didn't play a show until a couple days ago. And we were finishing up an album, mixing an album, and mastering an album. And so that was the first few months of the year. And we had to get all the layout sorted out and all the pictures and whatnot. And we signed a deal with Razor and Tie out of New York City. And we've just been rehearsing, getting ready to come here.
And you've been working on a new album?
Yeah, it's just wrapped up, so it's coming out really soon. It's called Daybreak.
September, I believe.
Yeah, that's soon.
Collaboration, dream collaboration, Dead or Alive. Who would you go for?
Oh my gosh,
it's a good one. Paul McCartney.
Sir Paul is my hero. I mean, ultimate hero. He was the real mojo of the Beatles. I'm so sorry I said that out loud. I think about it, but it's true. I love you, Paul.
I wouldn't mind, I'd want to play, like, it'd be fun to do something with Bjork.
Yeah, that'd be
I feel like it would just completely, I mean, aside from being just a huge fan, like, just getting to do something that takes me out of what I consider to be my element as a musician, so something like that would be kind of cool.
When you say element, do you mean comfort zone, or...?
Not so. I guess just what I do as a guitar player. So you could, I guess comfort zone, but
what I
naturally tend to gravitate towards doing. At least in things where I'm, creative in, So yeah, I don't know. That seems like it would be I like a challenge, so it seems like that would be an interesting one.
I saw a documentary about Scott Walker making his most recent album called The Drift, and that looked like it would have been fun to step into.
Yeah.
Cool studio environment, hitting slabs of meat, weird recording, very strange.
If you could cover a tune, what tune would you choose to cover?
Oh, good question. I've always wanted to cover Eleanor Rigby, but make it a halftime song, so it would be kind of heavy.
I've always wanted to do Moon Age Daydream.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
By?
Bowie.
Okay.
It's on Ziggy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, you're a real Beatles fan, aren't you?
Yeah, it's bad. I have the complete scores book, so I study their music, and I'm obsessed. I sing their music every day when I'm home, because the way that I sing is sort of it's in a very high range, and so I have to keep it in shape. Like if I were a long distance runner, I'd have to do the jogging every day. So what I do is I sing 20 Beatles songs, the same ones every day.
Personal highlights?
That's a good. Well, we played Madison Square Garden with Green Day and Blink-182. That was like just so bizarre, surreal to be on that stage. And you're walking through the corridors, and there's pictures of everyone you could imagine: Miles Davis, Robert Plant, Joni Mitchell, Prince. It's just Bob Dylan. Because that was the most surreal moment for sure.
And they box there as well, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
They play hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
Green Day and Blink-182, they're two phenomenal bands.
Yeah, Green Day is the best live band I've ever seen in my life to this day.
Where did the name come from?
We had a friend a long time ago that used to come to our shows sometimes. We thought we had a very strange name. We used to be called Seffler. Didn't mean anything. Sefler. And he thought we had cool music and we seemed like nice guys. We could probably get on hardcore shows, but our name was so weird nobody would take us seriously. So he was in the studio with us one day when we were making a demo tape. And he said, "You know what, guys? These songs are really cool. You definitely need to change your name." Like, you really think so? Because we thought Seffler was good because we were just dumb kids, you know? And he just randomly threw it out. Said, "I always thought Saves the Day would be a cool name for a band." And it just stuck.
We were trying to think of musicians or acts that came out of Jersey, and we came up with
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
and
Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons.
Oh, wow, no kidding.
well, there's a film, The Jersey Boys.
The Jersey
we
Boys
assume that.
musical. We just assume that.
Yeah.
Who else should we know?
Well, a lot of the bands we came up with, like Thursday, My Chemical Romance, the other guys that just rose out of the scene. I feel like there were just hundreds of Jersey bands on the scene for a while.
Because you can't. I imagine you're in the shadow of New York.
Dillinger Escape Plan, yeah, you are, and I feel like that was what was cool about New Jersey. It's sort of a wasteland, suburban wasteland. There's just strip malls, and it's the geography of nowhere. And there's Philadelphia 60 miles south, and New York City 60 miles north, and you're just stuck in between them. And it created a bit of tension and boredom, I think, for a lot of kids. And so with the cross-pollination between the cities too, you'd be going to each city one weekend here and one weekend there, and so you'd be hearing different ideas and going to different shows and seeing everything all in one little area. So New Jersey just happened to be in the middle of it all. I think it was good, and with the boredom and nothing going on, it was created angst, and music was fun.
Any similarities to Seattle?
I think in a way, although Jersey really doesn't have any big cities. There's no city that you go to in New Jersey. And so Seattle, everybody's just up on this hill, you know, in this awesome city. And so I think there's a lot more like breeding within the bands. Their ideas are just all getting intermingled. And so I think that's why Seattle has such a great music scene. Still does, even though it had its time in the 90s. And there's still amazing music in Seattle. So New Jersey's a little different because everybody's spread out. But you'll drive 3 hours to go see a show, and you know, it'll be all your friends playing. So it's a very communal thing in New Jersey.
I grew up in Detroit, and it was kind of the same thing, the same boredom we dealt with, and the same, you had Chicago 4 hours away, but, just the community, like, in Detroit, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Motor City, they call it, don't they?
Yeah.
They did call it, is it?
Well, they still do. Motown.
And finally, do you have a message for your fans over here?
We are so thrilled that we get to come over here, and the show is selling out, and people seem really excited.
Yeah, we are.
We cannot.
We've been talking about this for
Can't believe how lucky we are.
We tried coming last year, and we got thwarted by
An angry hill.
The angry hill in Iceland.
Volcano exploded last year, and we couldn't come. We were devastated.
So we're
We've
glad
been
we got
waiting.
to, make it up. And
Very excited.
We're excited to come back a lot more now and have a new record in tow.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I like about Saves the Day is I used to listen to a lot of their older stuff when I was younger, and when I listen to it now, it just makes me remember those times, and I don't know, really happy, I guess.
My favourite Saves the Day song is Sell My Old Clothes, I'm Off to Heaven, because it's just an emo anthem. End of story.
Favourite tracks probably Sound Me Alarm. Favourite albums probably Stay What You Are. I love it just because it's awesome.
I love how inspiring they are. I've been a huge fan ever since I was like a kid. My cousin actually bought me one of a Saves the Day album, so they're just really inspiring.
And we just went to see Saves the Day. It was really good. Yeah, they were amazing, and they finished with the best song that I love, which was Saves the Day. And it was at your funeral, and it was the best song. And I'm really happy that I came to see the show.